CPOC. We can all find our seats or lose them as the case may be. Capital Program Oversight Committee meeting is called to order. Mr. Spiro, are there any members of the public who have registered and wish to make public comment?
Yes, we have two public speakers, Jason Pinero and Kevin Zhang. Mr. Pinero.
Of the day with a simple question. Will PTC will be installed in the Penn access portion between Penn Station and Euro Shell? Because I don't see it anywhere. So if anybody could answer that question, that will be more than grateful. And I've been starting to see the new fare payment system readers at 33rd Street on the Lexington Avenue line, but we didn't get the chance to provide feedback regarding the name of the card that we're gonna use starting in May. So if anybody could provide to me that explanation, the answer will be more than welcome. And with this in mind, I'll see you guys Wednesday morning.
Thank you, Mr. Pinero. Next speaker, Kevin Zhang.
Hello, good afternoon to Fran Rare and Ronnie Hakem. My name is Kevin Zhang. I would like to request that the MTA Utica Avenue subway extension and Nostrand Avenue extension between Flatbush Avenue, Brooklyn College to Emmons Avenue, because 4 train is terminate at Crown Heights Utica Avenue station. When I take the B46 Select bus service and it's too crowded during rush hours, 4 train will be extended to Kings Plaza station on the Utica Avenue subway line. 2 and 5 trains is terminate at Flatbush Avenue, Brooklyn College station. Utica Avenue subway extension will be added stops at Empire Boulevard, Winthrop Street, Church Avenue, Avenue D, Kings Highway, Fairlands Avenue, Avenue N, Fillmore Avenue, and Kings Plaza stations after the 2nd Avenue subway complete all 4 phases. 2 and 5 trains will be running extension between Flatbush Avenue, Brooklyn College, and Emmons Avenue in both directions. 2 train will be making local stops at Avenue L, Kings Highway, Avenue R, Avenue U, Avenue X, Avenue Z, and Emmons Avenue stations in both directions. 5 train will be making express stops at Kings Highway, Avenue U, Avenue X, and Emmons Avenue stations in both directions. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you.
And that concludes the public speakers.
Thank you, Mr. Spiro, and thank you all for coming and sharing your views with us. Minutes of the January 19 meeting are in the committee book. May I have a motion to approve? Second, all in favor? Minutes are approved. Mr. Spiro, are there any changes to the work plan?
No changes to the work plan, Mr. Chairman.
That being said, then I'll ask Ms. Chin to begin the presentation on update of positive trend control in the commuter rail lines.
Could I make a suggestion, sir? It's me.
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone, with the exception of Andrew, has heard the presentation because we were in attendance.
Bless you.
Yes. I guess, well, you did because I asked you and you watched it.
I not only watched it, but I got briefed. Well, anyway.
Let me just say that I thank Anthony and Debbie for all the effort that they put into it and their teams. A lot of work went into it. You helped us understand many things, and we appreciate that. We know how to read the statistics in the book, but I do think that it's important for us to be aware of the risks that we're facing, and we have the advantage of having the independent engineer here at the moment. I have heard them speak on this issue, and I know they support you fully, but I think it's important for the rest of the committee, such as we are here, to hear that as well.
Yes, you and I have heard this before, but Not everyone has, so if it's okay, let me ask IEC to report on PTC.
Good afternoon. The IEC PTC report is on page 23 of the CPOC book. First, IEC would like to acknowledge the project team on meeting all the requirements for compliance with the FRA mandate. The project team had to overcome many challenges to achieve this important milestone. The IEC agrees with the current project status as indicated in the railroad report, which provides a realistic assessment of remaining risks and technical issues. The IEC notes that the project budget is currently under review. This is due to the fact that the project is extending through 2020 and due to additional software releases that are planned by the system integrator, which require more testing time and resources. As indicated by the project team, revenue service demonstrations are progressing on the pilot lines. Due to the complexity of the Long Island Railroad installation, additional time is needed to resolve software variances and progress the testing on the Port Washington branch. Overall, due to lack of adequate system integration resources, the resolution of design issues and software variances is progressing at a slow pace. This has impacted the start of revenue service demonstrations on the remaining line segments. Also, quality control issues with PTC equipment necessitates replacement of certain hardware elements on the entire fleet for both railroads. This presents a logistical challenge for the railroads to perform the required modifications. The IEC is concerned that the slow pace of resolving design issues and software variances combined with the quality control issues could have a negative impact on the schedule of remaining project activities as well as project completion. This concludes the IEC presentation.
Zuckerman. Oh, I'm sorry, yours was the hand I saw first.
But that's because he did it first.
Oh,
I'm slow.
You're not slow. You're methodical. Can you first question is, can you describe your process by which you come to these recommendations? Meaning, are you visiting the Pittsburgh facility, or are you simply looking at documents? Just give me an inkling as to the work you're doing to arrive at your perspectives, please.
So we do not visit the Pittsburgh facility or witness the FAT testing. However, we attend the monthly project progress meetings as well as other technical projects, technical meetings. We also periodically meet with the project team and discuss project issues and get feedback from them related to the resolution. We also share with them project risks.
Okay. I have a request for you, gentlemen and ladies, which is pertaining to our morning meeting, which I don't know if any of you were in attendance. Were any of you in attendance at our discussion with Bombardier and Siemens here?
I did listen to it this morning, yes.
All right. So as you can tell, that was quite a heated conversation, and heated because of the delays and the exasperation that MTA has experienced through the misdelivery, if you will, of service, timeliness, and quality. I'm going to ask that you help us with your observations, whether that's done physically in situ at Pittsburgh, and I would recommend that you guys get on a plane and go look at that at some point, or through the means you're doing. But I think this board desperately needs your help to observe where Bombardier and Siemens are, and to give your independent viewpoint about whether they are not just serious, but more importantly, delivering on the promises they made to us this morning. And I'd ask each of you on this project to go back, if you haven't watched it, and listen to their testimony or their comments, and validate where they are. We, as Mitch said earlier, this is the most important thing that the two commuter railroads must do. I was saying all year in 18, now it's through 20. It is still the most important thing we have to do, at least in my opinion. and we need your help to hold them to what they offer to do. Now, I want to say publicly again that I appreciate that Bombardier and Siemens jointly came, and a very senior group of people came to provide assurances to us, but I believe in deeds, not words, and talk is unfortunately kind of cheap. So
Okay,
your help, please, sir.
Sure. Just want to correct, earlier in the project, we had a software resource that did go to Pittsburgh and observed the factor acceptance testing. He is no longer involved in this project. Just one comment on the meeting this morning that I would like to add, and that is the system integrator did address to a certain extent the need for additional resources, but they only focused on testing resources. From the IEC perspective, we see the additional resources or the adequate resources that is needed to include technical management, system integration, signal design, and software development. So we would have liked to see that the system integrator commit to additional resources in these areas as well.
President Rinaldi would like to add something.
I was just going to suggest to Neil and to Nabil that we have an executive level phone call, sometimes a meeting with them in person on Woodside every Friday. We'd be happy to include Nabil on that invitation so he could participate. It might be a little bit easier than flying out to Pittsburgh, and he'll hear what I'm hearing with respect to the resources and the other issues that affect the project.
Whether it's flying to Pittsburgh, listening in on a phone call, Skyping, or using carrier pigeon, it seems to me that it's well within IEC's wheelhouse to advise this committee on the best path here. We're in a very bad place right now. I don't have to restate the obvious. We need to be in a much better place very soon.
Yes, we do agree.
All right? Are we ready to move on?
Just one thing.
Yes.
I felt this morning that some of the promises made to us were done so in full good faith. I have confidence that they're going to try very hard, but any slippage from here on in puts us in jeopardy. Nabil, I may have inadvertently focused them on testing because I'm very concerned at the time that we have left. The testing in large part falls on us, and I think they need to speed up their end of the project. Nonetheless, I appreciate that. I do think that attending your Friday conversations would be very helpful on a regular basis. And the committee as a whole just needs to be sure that we know every month whether we're going to make it or not, because it's very important to us that we do.
Okay. Thank you. Bridges and Tunnels Capital Program update. Going once.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Bridges and Tunnels Annual Capital Program Update. In today's presentation, I'll provide updates on our overall program status and major completions, as well as updates on specific programs at the RFK, Henry Hudson, Verrazano, and Throgs Neck bridges. First, overall status. This slide shows the overall status of the capital and Sandy programs. To date, all planned Sandy and 2010 to 14 capital program commitments have been made. We've also committed approximately 2/3 of the 2015 to 19 capital program projects. Now I'd like to discuss our 2018 commitments. In 2018, B&T committed $730 million of planned $800 million in commitments. In 2019, we plan to commit an additional $877 million. This slide shows the status of B&T's program completions. We've completed over 90% of our committed 2010 to 14 capital program projects and 100% of the committed Sandy program projects. In 2018, we completed 11 projects totaling $1.38 billion, which was an all-time high for B&T. In 2019, we plan to complete an additional $195 million of work. We'll now show a short video highlighting our major completions for 2018.
In 2018, B&T completed a record-breaking $1.38 billion of work, including post-Sandy reconstruction of the two tunnels, installation of tunnel flood protection, replacement of the Bronx Plaza roadway deck at the RFK Bridge, and structural rehabilitation and painting of the Marine Parkway Bridge. To repair the damage done by Hurricane Sandy to the two tunnels and to improve their resiliency, TBTA awarded 2 contracts with a total value of $588 million. New fire lines were cut into the tunnel walls, new fire-resistive ceiling panels were installed, upgraded tunnel LED roadway lighting, and an improved traffic management signage system was installed. The restoration and improvement work at the two tunnels was completed up to 11 months early, significantly benefiting the 140,000 plus customers who cross these two facilities each weekday. To ensure that flooding of the tunnels can never happen again, TBTA has installed 8 flood doors at the tunnel portals. These custom-designed flood doors, weighing up to 50,000 pounds each, can be closed in advance of an expected flooding event, totally sealing off and protecting the interiors of the tunnels. In addition, the perimeter seawall around the Hugh L. Carey Tunnel mid-river ventilation building has been raised in height, as it came close to flooding during Sandy and is an area of concern. The tunnel flood protection system is designed to protect to the FEMA 500-year flood elevation, which is nearly 4 feet higher than Sandy peak flood levels. At the Marine Parkway Bridge, $100 million in repairs and upgrades to the bridge structure and lift span machinery and controls was completed. All existing equipment was dismantled and removed from the machine rooms at the top of the towers.
Now we're entering the machinery room at the top of the south tower of the Marine Parkway Bridge. This machinery room houses the main lifting equipment for the lift span. We're completing a major overhaul of this lifting equipment. We recently replaced the original 1936 lift span machinery. Some of the main components of the lift bridge machinery system consist of the motor control center, the primary gearboxes, and 4 electric motors. We have 200 horsepower normal motors that operate the bridge in the normal condition, and we have 2 50 horsepower auxiliary motors which operate the bridge if there's an issue with the normal system. This gearbox replaced the original 1936 gearbox. That gearbox served the bridge well. After so many years in service, it was increasingly unreliable. The new lift bridge mechanical system has been in operation for over a year now. In that time, it's performed flawlessly. It takes approximately 3 minutes to lift the bridge to full height. The operation of the machinery is extremely smooth. The computerized control system maintains the bridge in precise level while the bridge is being lifted and lowered. And in seating the bridge, there are no longer any issues that we had with the original operating system.
At the RFK Bridge, Project RK65A reconstructed and reconfigured 230,000 square feet of the Bronx Toll Plaza roadway deck and the Queens to Manhattan ramp. The project was necessary to restore structural integrity of the elevated structure, to improve roadway safety, and to increase traffic capacity and efficiency. This $238 million construction contract was constructed in 6 stages to minimize impact to the 100,000 customers who transit this area each day. The project also included rehabilitation of substructures, structural steel painting, seismic upgrades, new LED roadway lighting, improvements to roadway drainage, and installation of an emergency generator and a new 5 kilovolt electrical feeder.
Right now, I'm standing at the site of the old Bronx Toll Plaza, which was reconstructed under the RK65A project. As originally bid, the project was to construct a new 16-lane toll plaza. However, in June of 2016, as part of an expedited agency-wide initiative to transition to open road tolling at all TBTA facilities, the RK65A scope of work was modified to require the installation of open road tolling gantries at the Bronx and Queens approaches to the RFK Bridge, and for the demolition of the old Bronx Toll Plaza. As a result of a collaborative, fast-track design and construction approach, ORT Go Live at the RFK Bridge was achieved on June 15th, 2017, 1 month ahead of schedule. Due to the elimination of the toll booths, the old toll plaza area and approach roadways were reconstructed as a streamlined 5-lane viaduct featuring a new horizontal alignment to accommodate higher traffic speeds and improving customer safety and traffic throughput.
Despite the change in scope to incorporate ORT, overall, the project was substantially complete October 31st, 2018, approximately 8 months ahead of schedule. Milestone work impacting mainline traffic was completed 3.5 months early, and the Queens to Manhattan ramp was completed 7 months ahead of schedule, with the contractor earning $2.7 million overall in early completion incentives.
Okay. So next I would like to discuss B&T's design build program. Since 2010, we've completed 7 design build projects totaling $205 million in project value. We currently have 11 ongoing design build projects, with another 3 projects planned for 2019. Design build projects make up approximately 24% of our 2015 to 19 capital program. Remaining 2019 planned projects will be bid as either best value RFPs or cost and time procurements. This slide takes a look at how we're doing on small business mentoring program, tiers 1 and 2, as well as the A&E discretionary program for consulting firms. As you can see, B&T is exceeding the goals set for the SBMP programs, and we've awarded 17 discretionary A&E tasks, most of which are performing designs for future SBMP projects. Now I'd like to discuss our ongoing program at the RFK Bridge. Highlighted in green is the Bronx Plaza structure, a recently completed project that was featured in the video you just saw, replaced the roadway deck and portions of supporting steel structure. Shown in blue at the center of the page is work ongoing to replace the deteriorated sections of the Manhattan Plaza. Roadway work here is expected to be finished by March 31st this year, in alignment with New York State DOT's reconstruction of the Bruckner Expressway. Also highlighted in blue at the bottom right quadrant is the FDR ramp, which is undergoing repairs to extend its service life. Impacts to the public there are being minimized by performing the work during off-peak travel times. And highlighted in yellow is the proposed Harlem River Drive direct connector ramp, which I'll discuss in further detail on the next slide. This slide shows progress made on 3 projects that collectively will result in the construction of a new direct connector from the RFK Bridge to the northbound Harlem River Drive. Phases 1 and 2, shown in green and blue, are complete. Phase 3, shown in yellow, is the construction of the rest of the Harlem River Drive connector ramp. The project will be procured this year as a design-build project, with schedule being heavily weighted in the evaluation and selection process. Once complete, this new Harlem River Drive ramp will allow traffic to directly access the northbound Harlem River Drive from the RFK Bridge, avoiding the local city streets, improving regional mobility, and benefiting our customers as well as local community in East Harlem. Next, we'd like to show a video of ongoing work at the Henry Hudson Bridge, with a video highlighting 2 significant projects ongoing there.
At the Henry Hudson Bridge, 2 significant construction projects are underway, which continue the authority's coordinated program of state of good repair and customer experience enhancement work at the facility. These ongoing projects are rehabilitation of the foundation structures for the arch span and approach roadways, and reconstruction of the old toll plaza area and adjacent lower level southbound roadway, and replacement of roadway lighting along the approach parkway to the bridge. The main objective of the $82 million rehabilitation of the foundation structures is to address age-related deterioration in concrete foundation substructures, which date from the 1930s. The main structures impacted by concrete deterioration at the Henry Hudson Bridge are 16 concrete pedestals supporting approach roadway structural steel framing, and 4 concrete skewbacks which support the base of the bridge's massive 840-foot arch span and adjacent tower columns. To address the skewback concrete deterioration, an alternative load path is being constructed, which will allow all the loads from the arch span and the tower pedestals to bypass the existing skewback structural elements and be transmitted direct to the bedrock below.
Currently, the contractor is drilling micropiles on the north skewback. It's a complicated operation because the arch micropiles are drilled diagonally and they intersect with the vertical micropiles of the bridge towers. The alignment tolerances are very tight. Prior to drilling of the micropiles, the contractor removed all deteriorated concrete from the surface of the skewbacks, then applied a structural reinforced shotcrete along with guide pipes that help facilitate the installation of the micropiles. In recent years, TBTA has been undertaking a significant percentage of their capital program via the design, build, procurement method. This project was selected to be handled in that way due to the complex nature of both its design and construction. This allowed us to look at 5 exceptionally innovative solutions which were based on the contractor's proposed means and methods. It also allowed the contractors to incorporate their schedule for the work. In the end, it allowed TBTA to select the best value option that incorporated schedule, technical solution, and cost. The contract includes a $500,000 incentive for the contractor to finish up to 3 months early to minimize the impact on the surrounding community. We're currently 45% complete, and we expect to finish on time and within budget.
Project's total value, $86 million, are ongoing concurrently at the south side of the Henry Hudson Bridge and involve reconfiguring the lower level roadway in the vicinity of the previously removed toll booths to improve roadway alignment, customer safety, and traffic throughput, and also upgrading lighting on approach roadways with new LED light fixtures, improved lighting controls, and centralized power feeds.
We're at the south end of the Henry Hudson facility at the old Toll Plaza facility being reconstructed. This is 1930s construction that has to be replaced because of deteriorating concrete. In addition, it's an opportunity to realign with the new open road tolling system. The project is being reconstructed in two main stages, with the existing roadway structure that's open to traffic being supported on heavy steel shoring structures. This allows us to maintain on the lower level 2 lanes of traffic which match the incoming parkway lanes right through the facility and down south into Manhattan. It also allows us to maintain 3 lanes of traffic from the south going northbound over the facility. Stage 1 construction is expected to be completed in September of 2019, after which we will transition to Stage 2 construction. During Stage 2 construction, we will continue to maintain 2 lanes of traffic southbound and 3 lanes of traffic northbound. Stage 2 construction is anticipated to take 7 months.
Lane closures for the approach roadway lighting upgrades are coordinated with the lane closures in place to perform the reconstruction of the old Toll Plaza areas.
At the conclusion of this project, the upper and lower level roadway decks and supporting structure in the vicinity of the old toll plazas will have been completely reconstructed. In particular, lower level columns which once obstructed the lower level roadway will have been completely removed. This column removal will allow for enhancement of the lower level roadway alignment, which in turn will allow for increased traffic throughput and enhanced public safety. In order to minimize the impact on the traveling public, the contract includes an incentive allowance of $2.5 million to finish lower level stages 1 and 2 roadway construction up to 12 months early.
Next, I'll provide an update on the program at the Verrazano-Narrows Bridge. With the recent completion of the upper level suspended span deck replacement and the opening of the bus HOV lane, attention at the Verrazano is now turning to reconstruction of the upper level approaches, which are part of the original construction of the bridge and over 55 years old. Reconstruction of a portion of the Verrazano upper level approaches will be awarded later this year, and I'll discuss this project further in the next slide. In addition to work on the approaches, we will also be awarding a project for structural steel repairs and painting of suspended span steel.
Excuse me, can we dispense with the video if it's okay with the committee? I'm sure it is okay. Not that we don't find it enlightening, but the hour is late.
Yes. We're done with the video. No more video.
We're done. Yeah.
Then we're done.
Henry Hudson was the last video.
Thank you. We're done. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
IEC.
The full IEC report for the B&T projects can be found on page 43 of your CPOC book. Starting with the RFK Bridge Toll Plaza reconstruction, despite challenges faced early in the project team completed the work 8 months ahead of schedule, approximately $7 million under budget. The team should be commended for completing the base work, incorporating open road tolling, and withstanding a 2-month stop work order during last summer's Amtrak Penn Station work. At the Throgs Neck Bridge, as you heard, Project TN49 was awarded at a cost lower than the engineer's estimate. The top cost and schedule risks for this project are related to the orthotropic deck panel fabrication and installation. Lessons learned from previous B&T orthotropic deck panel projects have been incorporated into this one. At the tunnels, as you heard from the agency, both Sandy Tunnel projects were completed in 2018. They both finished within budget and on schedule. The 3 completed projects all had less than the planned duration of continuous lane closures, significantly reducing the impact to the traveling public. This will be the last IEC report for these 3 projects, and that concludes our report.
Thank you. Any questions? The committee. Dr. Metzger.
Just want to say that you're a very modest man, and you deserve commendation. We love hearing that you're on budget and on schedule, and when you finish before schedule and under budget, it's just more than we can hope for. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And do you know anything about PTC? Is there anything else? Thank you. Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
have one item.
Yes. Managing Director Hakem has one, capital program status?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Because this is the January report, the overall 2019 goals for commitments and completions appear respectively on page 49 and 50 of the book. Pleased to say we're off to a good start. There were no planned major commitments scheduled for January, so we haven't slipped anything. And there were 2 major completions scheduled and achieved for January. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none. Motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor. This meeting's adjourned. Thank you all.